my name is Erin, and this is my journey to Ironman. I wanted to start documenting the 24 weeks that I am dedicating to getting myself to the finish line of Ironman in Madison this coming September in 2026. And for the past 2 years, I've been on this journey to complete this. I'm a mom of 3. I run my own business. I also have a full-time job on top of that. I volunteer at a number of different not-for-profits, and I love to move my body and challenge myself in many different ways. On top of all that, I'm also living with multiple sclerosis. So I was diagnosed when I was 22, and I'm approaching my 40th birthday this October, which is also part of the reason why I wanted to do this Ironman. But I'm officially through my first week of training. I wrapped up kind of day 1 of week 2 today, but I just wanted to make sure I am rather timely on documenting this journey. So with that, just some feedback that I have on week 1 of this 24-week journey for myself and for others who might be thinking of doing this for them and giving it a go. I think anything is doable with the right plan in place, with the right dedication, with the right amount of time. I obviously just don't have enough, hence me more or less in this getup with wet hair after a shower and it being 9 o'clock at night. But this is the only moment I can fit this in today and this week, which it goes a long way too with your trainings, is just kind of making it work. But my food for thought after week 1 of things that I think are really impactful and things that should be worked on prior to training for an Ironman is figuring out your nutrition. I am fortunate enough to have a nutritionist that I'm starting to work more closely with, but we started kind of getting things in motion a few months back. But I just started tracking my calorie intake and the foods I'm eating, and I am wildly calorie deficient. I'm not getting enough. I'm not normally too hungry in general, even after a workout, not too bad. When I'm on the bike, don't really care. But the one thing I know I was lacking is protein, which if you've heard anything, protein is like the name of the game, obviously right now, but also as a female in my late 30s, approaching 40s, probably in perimenopause right now, protein is really important. And prior to being mindful of this, I was maybe getting 30 grams of protein a day, maybe. Now I'm trying to hit 150, which is mind-blowing. It is hard. It is challenging. Right now, I find that to be the hardest part of training for this Ironman, besides the double day workouts and, 2 hours a day of working out right now, plus teaching yoga. So right now, maybe 3 hours workouts, which I know are going to get longer and harder. But nonetheless, nutrition, very important. So if you're considering getting into this, if you or maybe just getting into a more fitness-focused journey, I would highly, highly recommend working with somebody on this. One of the ways I've managed my MS is actually through my nutrition. So when I was first diagnosed, I tried all the different medications out there. They're all shots that I would have to do myself. It took me a long time. I'd sit there for 20 minutes, sometimes longer, just like practicing how to do it, and I couldn't. The side effects were not great, and I quickly decided that there had to be a better way for me to manage my MS. So I did a dietary test, and back then, gluten, dairy, and eggs were kind of the big ones that I found to be my sensitivity. I got rid of those for a long duration, and then, got older, had babies, could eat whatever I wanted, and nothing really mattered. It was fine. But now I'm back into, focusing on what I am putting in my body a little bit more mindfully. But that also kind of gave me a little bit of like food avoidance, of being scared of what I can eat. That wouldn't cause inflammation or a flare up or just make me feel not great. So it's been a long road trying to figure this out. I don't have it perfect by any means. That's why I'm working with a nutritionist again to help me get everything on the right path for me, and not just for this Ironman. I think also managing my disease and managing my general health. But Ironman, for sure, you got to figure that out. You're burning so many calories, and especially in the race, if you are not well fed, if you are not well prepped, if you are not taking care of yourself from what you're putting in your body, you will not make it to the finish line. So lessons are being learned. I'm figuring it out one day at a time. But me and Fiona, my girl right here, she's my only bike I've ever had, my longest relationship in life. She's had a couple of upgrades these past few months. I refuse to get any other bike, but her and I, since I was 22, have been riding, and she and I will cross this finish line on September 13th up in Madison. So continue to follow me on this journey of Ironman, and hopefully my goal is to motivate and inspire other people to just try. It doesn't have to be an Ironman, but whatever you're dreaming, whatever you think is just unattainable, whatever you are scared to do, I hope I inspire you to try.